Our guest tonight is an exceptionally well-dressed comedian with a live show for a limited time only, starting tomorrow night at 7 Pacific and every night next week. The show is called Everybody's in L.A. You can see it on Netflix. Please welcome John Mulaney. No one comes out faster than you. I mean, like, I said your name and suddenly you were on me like a...
They were actually holding me back. Not a joke. Josh was holding me back.
You're like a free safety or something.
I'm just so excited.
Well, it's good to have you here. I'm excited to have you here.
It's nice to see you, man.
How are you?
I'm very good.
It's
how are
a big
you?
week, I know. You got a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I would like to turn the clock back a little bit, though, to the last time you were here. You were here promoting your very funny special on Netflix, Baby J.
Yeah.
Went on to win the Emmy, which is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. That was very cool.
And I wonder...
and the Critics' Choice.
And the Critics' Choice. What else? Anything else?
No Globe nomination, but let's see.
People's Choice?
Nomination, maybe? You're the people. Did you? No, I don't think I got you.
But what was the reaction? Like, did people want to talk to you about it? Because it wasn't your usual comedy special. It's just like kind of a series of jokes. There were stories there, really kind of personal stories.
Yeah, there were stories about, the issues I'd had with drug addiction and my time in a couple rehabs. And so people liked it as a comedy special, but people would come up to me, sort of human to human about it if they had their own struggles with it. But I think what really was very poignant to me was this was recently, I was leaving my house here in LA, and my neighbor Luis came and knocked on my window of my car, and I got out and I said, "Hey, Luis, how you doing?" He goes, "I finally watched your special." And I said, "Oh, thank you for watching." And he goes, "It's okay." And then he said, "But man, I've got cocaine stories that are better than yours."
Oh, maybe.
And then he gave me a big bag of lemons.
Did he?
Yeah. Do you have a lemon guy on your street?
No, I don't have a lemon guy on my blog, no.
It's like anyone who has the best lemon tree, I feel like if you hit it off with them, they should bring you a big bag of lemons.
We have our own lemon tree, and I'm going to start giving lemons to comedians also, yeah.
Do coyotes ever eat your lemons?
Do coyotes eat lemons?
Dude, coyotes love a twist of lemon.
We are worried about the coyotes eating our dog, but we'd not thought about the lemons. Yeah.
When I stayed in your guest house after my life fell apart...
That was you? You called the police.
I came in, I had done a show at the Troubadour, and I come in late, and I knew the code. He gave me the code. And I go in there, you had a big possum in front of your guest house. It scared the out of me.
Yeah. They're scary, but they're not
so scary.
But they're harmless, though, the possums, but terrifying. The scariest harmless
it's
animal.
Harmful.
Do you think there are any animals that are like as harmless and also as scary? Because I think that's the scariest harmless animal.
That's a great question. No, they're... Don't they just look like Florida if it became an animal? It's just a lot of Florida about
They do. Yeah. I watched, you were on with David Letterman. David Letterman does a show on Netflix called My Next Guest Needs No Introduction.
Yes.
Which, just to start with, being asked to be on a show called that is an honor, I think.
A huge honor.
Huge honor. Then
deeply surreal.
It's David Letterman.
Yeah.
I watched it, like, at midnight when it came out.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I know. I texted you right after a while.
Yeah,
That's what I was up.
Me
I was excited to see it. I wanted to, you told me a little bit about it, and I was excited to see it. And it was great. It was really, like, great, but also, like, it had to be so strange.
It was strange the whole time. I have this weird theory. Like, I've talked to you before. I had that theory that Y2K really happened. Like, I sometimes think, I was like, did I die a couple years ago? And this is like a weird, nice heaven, where like David Letterman wants to hang out with me. And that's a show, and it's on TV.
It wasn't just an interview. It was an interview, but also he went to
2 days together.
Your high school.
3 days, sorry. We went to my high school, which, by the way, is like the worst, like the most like angry, pissed off, ska-loving 17-year-old side of me, you know? Like, when I was graduating from my high school, I think I actually thought to myself, I'm never coming back to this place unless it's with a camera crew following me, and I've got David Letterman with me. F these people. And like they messed with the wrong person here. They've messed with the wrong guy, and I'm coming back here hot 20 years later with a camera crew. And like, I was walking through, I was like, it actually happened. It rewarded the worst side of me.
Yeah. I remember one of the things you said in the special is when Dave asked you, did you ever imagine you'd be headlining the Hollywood Bowl? You're like, yes, I did. Yes, starting from a very young age.
I was informed I said that. I have myself not watched it yet. But
you haven't?
No.
Will you watch it?
Yeah.
You gotta wait. Yeah, I know how that is.
Yeah, I just gotta wait a second because my dad's in it a lot.
Let me tell you I'll tell you a little bit about it. So you haven't seen your dad in it?
I haven't seen him in it.
Wait, how did your dad get in it in the first place?
Dave's request.
Dave said, I want to have dinner with you and your dad.
Yep. First, he wanted to spend a whole day together, and he said, like, go do an activity like bowling or something. I was like, my dad does not do this activity. I said, they were asking, what would you do with your dad? I was like, we would sit in chairs and talk about Eisenhower. Like, we're not a, baseball glove father and son. Mm-hmm. We probably own them, but...
I got that sense.
So we did a dinner instead.
From your dad, were you worried that dad was about how he might interact with Dave? Might embarrass you, or no?
No, not embarrass me. Well, first off, I knew he'd be fine and totally unfazed by doing it.
Yeah, he did seem unfazed.
Does he?
Yes,
Yeah,
totally.
he was.
Yes. Seemed very calm.
He was excited to, meet someone and have dinner, but he didn't care at all about dinner.
He seemed equally excited about the meeting someone and just the dinner. Like that is how even
he liked the ambiance as much as he liked just meeting David Letterman. I mean, David Letterman to him, that's not a big deal at all. I think he actually thought this guy's excited to meet me, which I mean, if you were my dad, you're this really serious lawyer in the 80s, and you have 4 kids, and then there's this guy on TV every night, in a Velcro suit. I think my dad was like, that's some I don't know who that is. Yeah. So he wasn't starstruck. He was totally. But that's kind of him. He's not fazed by anything.
Have you ever seen him lose it?
Well, only one time. He threw his glasses at me when I was 11 or 12 at Hard Rock Cafe. Just purely out of frustration. He wasn't a hitting guy, Yeah. Or he sort of tried to hit me once, but he didn't know how to hit and I didn't know how to receive it. So it was and I was like, what? And then my older sister was great because it was the mid-90s. She goes, Dad, you're not allowed to hit people. That looks so bad. You're not supposed to hit kids. That would come off terribly if people found out about it. And he goes, okay. Just negotiated out of it.
Your dad is one of those guys. He seems to me to be a guy who is so normal, he's weird.
Yeah, that's the perfect description.
The story that you told about going to McDonald's with him is, I don't even know, I've thought about it for the last 48 hours.
We were 4, 6, and 8, and we were driving to Wisconsin, and it was a long drive. We saw McDonald's, and my dad pulled into the drive-thru. We were little kids. We all started cheering, McDonald's, McDonald's, McDonald's. My dad pulls up to the drive-thru. He orders 1 black coffee for himself and keeps driving. And it's interesting to see him. So Letterman asked him about that. And he went, yeah. And he goes, I was told later that was not good. But he's very straightforward like that. He's an interesting cat. I really...
I can relate to what O.J. did more than I can relate to that. For real.
You can see how O.J. got there. But you can't imagine.
Yeah, OJ's probably coked up and angry, and like his
he was
wife,
angry.
you know, whatever.
He was
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah.
No, but
Why don't we take a break at this moment, and we'll have a discussion with the producers about whether that should stay in the show or not. John Mulaney is here. We'll be right back.
say yes.
John Mulaney has got something very special going on this week, a show called Everybody's in L.A. This is a live show on Netflix.
Live around the world with no delay.
No delay.
Yeah.
Whatever goes on, goes on.
Whatever happens, happens.
And you'll be taking phone calls.
I will be taking some phone calls, yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. That's like, I don't know. I didn't know
It's like
anyone...
something you would do.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe, yeah. It's like something I did do, many years ago in my radio career.
It does have a unhinged radio feel to it.
Have you ever done like a call-in type of thing?
No,
before?
I haven't.
Yeah,
it's
it'll
very
be fun.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's you get like a second to go, okay, you want to talk about coyotes? Okay, great. And you're not going to yell something that would end John's career, are you? And then they go, no. And then you go, all right, we trust you. And then you patch them.
Well, you're on hold.
Yeah.
And will you be giving away like bumper stickers and tickets to the water park to caller number 103.5 or anything like that?
Oh, man. Will you put me in a real awkward position? We don't have anything. We should get some bumper stickers or something.
You got to have some prizes, for the people at the end. They might behave themselves if they have prizes. They know they're going to get a prize at the end of the call.
Is that how you did it in radio?
A little bit, yeah. There was some prizing.
You'd be like, you'll get tickets to our live event at a parking lot or whatever.
Yeah, but you know really what happened? We'd have some like jerk-off friend call up, and we put them on hold, and like, congratulations, you're caller 93. And they're like, oh my God. And they're like, okay, good, I'll meet you at the, we'll drive over to the concert together.
You have just shattered. All of us who remember those calls on your radio shows are crestfallen
Many
right
FCC violations, many. More than not, to be honest with you.
I asked you at dinner recently if you'd ever been fired, and you said the first job you were not fired from was this show, Brett?
in L.A. No,
In
yeah,
LA.
maybe this show. Well, it's still...
It's still time.
That still remains to be seen.
Yeah.
So you have quite a few guests. My God, these
Well,
guests.
yeah, I have a lot of people. A lot of people are in town for this Netflix is a Joke festival.
Yeah.
So I figured I'm going to do 6 nights, live every night, and then it's done. It can't be picked up again. So there's
It
no...
could. You're just not going to let them?
I wouldn't let it, no.
I see, okay. All right.
So there's no stakes to it. We'll never hit a groove.
Yeah, you don't want to hit a groove.
We're not gonna go like, we kind of have a handle on it. And we're just exploring everything about Los Angeles.
David Letterman, Jerry Seinfeld, Jon Stewart, Patton Oswalt, Sarah Silverman, Bill Hader, Nate Bargatze, Cedric the Entertainer. And those are the big names. Then you got some small names, some weird small names, too. You got Dr. Lucy Jones, the seismologist.
Oh, yeah. You know Lucy Jones?
Well, we all know Lucy Jones.
Yeah.
She's a big part of this town.
Yes, she is.
When things go bad, we turn to Lucy Jones.
For sure. She was like the Carson Daly of the Northridge earthquake. She was on the air all the time.
That's right.
She's cool, yeah. We're talking earthquakes that night, obviously.
Hypnotherapist Carrie Gaynor.
Carrie Gaynor is a brilliant man who got me to quit smoking in November of 2021. I smoked from age 13 to 39, 2 sessions, and haven't used a single nicotine product since.
Dr. Emily Lindsay.
All credit to Carrie.
Of the La Brea Tar Pits, Dr.
Yes.
Emily Lindsay.
I took my son to the La Brea Tar Pits recently.
And
he doesn't want to see a bunch of skeletons.
No one does.
What I thought it was going to be is so embarrassing in retrospect. I thought it was going to be like big animals covered in tar. And it was going to be like, an animated movie to him. And it was just these dirty bones.
Yeah, dirty bones. And the smell of tar.
Yeah, and the smell of tar everywhere.
You've got a helicopter journalist Zoe Turer on the show.
Yeah, Zoe Turer. Have you ever seen an interview with Zoe Turer?
I don't know.
Fascinating woman. Still flies journalistic helicopters. She was over the Rodney King uprising. She was over the OJ chase.
Wow. She's the reporter from the. Oh yeah, I must know who she is. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was over all those things.
Yeah, and she might be over. She might be somewhere in
She could be above us
Sylmar
right now. Yeah. Is there anyone that you asked to do this who said no? There's so many others.
So many.
Oh really?
Someone that you and I, near and dear to you and my heart,
Go ahead.
Diamond David Lee Roth.
He said no.
He passed, yeah, which is okay. Like, I respect the man. Like, he's a solid guy.
I don't know about that.
He's a really chill guy. No, Diamond David Lee Roth, man, I did want him, and I originally asked him to kind of be like my Cleto and
Oh, to be the band leader. Oh.
but then I was like, or just a guest, talk about your time, because he lived in Altadena.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to him about life in Altadena.
Yeah, and he said no to that, huh?
He said no to that, yeah.
Did you tell him you had a helicopter journalist on the show?
I honestly, I didn't know how to appeal to him, because I'm like, it's David Lee Roth. I should just call him up and be like, let's party, and he might show up.
You know, David Lee Roth, I think we've discussed this before, is actually an EMT. Like, he's got, he is...
That's right.
He worked... So maybe just call and say, I'm bleeding, and he'll come over.
Can you imagine being in a medical crisis and you're strapped down to the board and your head's in that and you look up, yeah! Like, that must be insane.
John Mulaney, the show is called Everybody's in L.A. It's live tomorrow at 7 Pacific, which means 4 o'clock on the East Coast, yeah?
The other way around.
Oh, 10 o'clock, even better. Okay,
Yeah.
great. And then you're going to be at the Hollywood Bowl on Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday night I'm at the Hollywood Bowl.
No calls.
Huh?
No calls.
No calls that night.
Yeah, well-
But come enjoy the traffic coming down Cahuenga. It'll be great.
Great to have you here.
Great to see you, buddy.
John Mulaney. We'll be right back with Gary Clark Jr. and Stevie Wonder.